Hey there, and welcome to Saloon Space. Wasn't Skegness just a brilliant weekend? The Sampson vs Reynolds rivalry returning, a brilliant UK Championship race, and 45 at Cunningham displaying the most amazing stock car acrobatics I have ever seen. Before we get there, please do hit like and subscribe. It helps out a small channel more than you could imagine. Let's start with last week's results, and we have a whole lot of them. On Thursday, 720 Archie Brown, 577 Harry Darby, and 124 Andrew Matheson took the heats, with 40 Jake Stringer and 902 Buster Jr. winning the consolations. 570 Rowan Venai, 429 Lee Sampson, and 600 Barry Russell were the podium for the Dave Garner Memorial Final, and 429 Lee Sampson finished out with a win in the All-Comers. Saturday was just 7 heats. Those were won by 120 Luke Dorlin, 40 Jake Stringer, 156 Darren Gowdy, 121 Kai Gilmore, 171 Adam O'Dell, 610 Trent Arverton, and 370 Rowan Venai. On Sunday, 577 Harry Darby won the last chance qualifier. He and 7 other cars got to stick it on the back of the UK Championship grid. That was won by 697 Jordan Cassie, 661 Graham Shovel, and 600 Barry Russell complete the podium there. Podium for the Raymond Gunn tribute was 124 Andrew Matheson, 171 Adam O'Dell, and 178 Kieran Bowman. Bowman also won the All-Comers to finish off the weekend. Very impressively, the white top pole sitter in the UK Championship, number 40 Jake Stringer, managed to bring it home in 9th. And I do find it funny, my honourable mention that I didn't want to put on the actual prediction list, 68 Charlie Burgoyne, was the highest finisher of all of those names that I mentioned last week, finishing in 7th. This week, just one meeting ahead of next week's European, Saloons will appear at Grimley Raceway in Worcester for the first time. They've replaced the Armco barrier around the track just for this Sunday, and it looks very smart. It's a one-off meeting run by Autospeed, but maybe it could open a door for a possible meeting next year, and so on. Bookings for this meeting include 19 cars as of me writing this script at 2 o'clock on Wednesday. The weather at Grimley looks like it'll be around 27 degrees with almost no wind or chance of rain. Now let's take a proper look at Skegness. I wanted to start by taking a look at our big guest driver, Tom Harris, but he didn't get a single top 10 finish all weekend, so I have no idea where he actually finished in any of his races. What I do know is that he was able to get up there, but just kept getting dragged back down. Besides a little ding-dong of 126 Harry Barnes in one of the heat races, nothing really happened all with him. This weekend, of course, was for the UK Championship, where the white top number 40 Jake Stringer was able to stick it on pole for the big race. The start was very chaotic, and I could barely keep up with what was happening in the early laps. The yellow flag came out, and 697 Jordan Cassie found himself leading, coming from inside row 4. More yellows happened, Cassie still leading, but then a battle broke out after the top 3 broke away. 697 Jordan Cassie, 600 Barry Russell, and 131 Timmy Barnes. This was a brilliant battle to watch, but eventually Barry started to get away a bit, and I thought that was it done. But the traffic giveth and the traffic taketh away. Barry Russell got caught up in a big pack of back markers and just couldn't get through them fast enough. Jordan got through, but Barry wasn't out of it just yet. He was still within striking range, and he really went for it on the last bend. But alas, it wasn't enough. 697 Jordan Cassie took home the UK Championship. 661 Graham Shovel snuck through to take second, and 600 Barry Russell dragged himself back out the wall to take third. No surprise to see the rivalry between 329 Keegan Sampson and 760 Joey Reynolds made a return this weekend. Maybe I missed something earlier in the night, but the first thing I saw was a shot from Joey Reynolds onto 428 Hayden Sampson. The reason I think this is what started it and nothing sooner is because in all of the times 151 Levi List has had pops at Hayden, he's never done anything before or after it. But simply having the Samson name is apparently enough to get him all of this grief he's seen since joining the saloons. I find it no surprise that this is how he would start it too. Let's not forget, on the day that Keegan's ban for his awful infield shot in last year's World Final was lifted in April, ex-Brisk Ref 1 World Champion Charlie Sorda had to go in a saloon in one of Reynolds' cars, where he was seen having a conversation with Levi before later going on to put Hayden away and attracting Keegan's attention. Nothing was ever said about whether this was an intentional move or not, but the evidence is there to speculate. Back to the current day where Joey Reynolds comes out and does the exact same thing. It's easy to imagine that's where the trouble started this weekend. Keegan did try to put himself on the back of Thursday's all-comers race on a yellow flag, but he was called out on that and he was sent back to his original position, so nothing else happened on the Thursday. In one heat on Saturday, Keegan had a good shot at Joey, and then in another heat, Keegan made himself look a tit, as he does, before finally getting another shot which led to him getting manned. Again. Officials say he hit the driver's door, but he denies this. There are a few videos taken by different people in the crowd, and I can't really find definitive evidence for either side. I don't see him definitely hitting the driver's door, but I also don't see him far enough away from it to definitely not hit it. Either way, this has now been put to bed for yet another 6 months. 225 Mark Tyson jumped into a saloon for a first time this weekend with Team Angleston. This guy had only ever done fun, no-stakes rental karting before this, so no actual racing experience at all. With that in mind, I think he did quite well. He didn't get a single point scoring finish all weekend, but he got the car around the track safely and didn't get in people's ways too much. There was no time I looked at him and thought that he was doing anything dangerous when he was there, so that's a positive thing for a first time, especially for that first time to be on the most crowded weekend of the year. Last thing I have is the 870, but Farrell and 162 Brad Fox had another little episode. I want to say that was on Sunday, although it might have been on Saturday. I don't remember. They do have their little pops at each other, but I don't really know what happened between these two. Maybe that's something I should just go ask them about. But that is all I have for this week. Join me next week for a review of Grimley and a preview for Taunton, where 720 Archie Brown will defend his European Championship. Enjoy Grimley, I know I will too, and I'll see you next week.